Hey guys, good morning. And it's all like 5 o'clock in the morning too. Okay, look, I got to teach you a principle and show you how we cost out stuff. So I asked you to in today's sign-in question, hey, why is it important to cost out your menu? Okay, think about it. I think we get it. If I don't know what I have in it, what do I sell it for? Right? Okay, so listen, you're going to need some paper. You're going to need a pen or pencil, and you're going to need a calculator in order to rock this through with me. Okay, so listen, let me get started with you. Hey, so listen, remember we made pasta, right? You guys, we've all made pasta. So it was really simple. It was flour, right? It was eggs, it was oil, right? And salt. Four ingredients. How much does it cost? And how do I know? What should I sell it for? Well, there's some ways, there's a couple ways to do this, and I'm going to give you the most easy way, okay? How to rock through this. And it's going to be like this, okay? So, let's start with our flour, okay? So, let me just give you some information. In our business, we normally buy flour in 50-pound bags, right? When the truck comes, you guys seen the truck pull up in the back there in the purchasing area at school? Well, most of the restaurants, we're going to get it in that size. Now, they do make 25-pound bags as well. But industrial-wise, we're going to get a 50-pound bag of flour, okay? So, what I want you to do is write down that the 50-pound bag of flour costs $17.50, okay? Got it? Write that down. Flour, $17.50 for 50 pounds, okay? I'm just going to call it bread flour if you don't mind. All right. Next, I'm going to get some eggs, okay? So, in our industry, we normally use large eggs, okay? That's just our standard. So, for eggs, I'm going to pay $2.44, which is a little high, for a dozen. So again, that's $2.44, and I'm going to get 12 eggs, okay? Now, I'm not very accurate on this olive oil price. I just guessed it, but I just want to show you how we do this process, okay? So, olive oil, I'm going to say I'm going to get for $4.79. I'm going to get 16 ounces, or a pint, if you will. Okay? And then I'm going to use salt. Okay? So listen, just in general, I'm going to just use sea salt today, okay? Now, sea salt costs anywhere from 8 to 10 cents per ounce. Okay? Now, I'll tell you something later when we get ready to do that. Okay, so I have all my components, right? I have my flour, I have my eggs, I have my oil, and my salt, because that's what we made our pasta dough with, right? So let's start like this. Okay, let's start with the flour. Ready? My recipe calls for 1 pound of flour, 5 eggs, 1/2 fluid ounce of olive oil, and a pinch of salt. We got it? One more time. 1 pound of bread flour, 5 eggs, 1/2 fluid ounce of olive oil, and a pinch of salt. Okay, so how much money do I have in it? This is what we need to really learn how to do when we cost, okay? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the flour. I'm going to take the money. See that $17.50? I'm going to put that on top. If I was writing it on paper, and underneath it, I'm going to put the 50 pounds. Well, what does that mean, Jeff? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to take the money, which is $17.50, right? Divide that by 50. Got it? I'm going to take 1750 divided by 50. It's going to come out to 0.35. Right? You guys see that? Well, what does that tell me? Well, it tells me that flour costs 35 cents a pound. But wait a minute. What happened if it called for 4 ounces of flour? What do I do then? Okay, that's cool. So if it costs 35 cents a pound, right? I'll now take that 0.35 and divide it by 16 because there's 16 ounces to a pound, right? And if a pound costs 35 cents, what does an ounce cost? So I'll take the 35 cents now that I know the pound cost, divide that by 16 because there's 16 ounces in a pound. It will then tell me what every ounce cost me. And by what I gave you, it's going to come out to 0.0218 an ounce. That looks about 2 cents an ounce. Got it? All right. So now that we have that, let's move on to the eggs. Egg we said was $2.44, right? $2.44 for the dozen, which is 12. So you're going to take your $2.44, 2.44, divide that by the 12, right? And it's going to come out to 0.20. So you know what that tells you? Each egg costs 20 cents. We good? And then let's move on to the oil. The oil, which I said was $4.79 for 16 ounces, or a pint, if you will, or 2 cups. Gotcha. Okay, so watch this. The $4.79, I'm going to divide that by the 16 ounces, right? It's going to tell me that each ounce of that oil comes to 0.299, which is 29 cents, but technically it's probably 30 cents, okay? Now, so we've broken down the flour, right? It's 35 cents a pound or 0.02 an ounce. The eggs, which are 20 cents each. The oil, which breaks down to about 29 cents an ounce. Now, let me tell you about this salt. Okay, watch this. Even though salt costs pennies, I still have to cost it out if I have it in my recipe. I can't give away anything. That's not business. Right? So, listen, sea salt costs 8 to 10 cents per ounce, okay? So, watch this. 4.98 teaspoons, or almost 5 teaspoons, makes an ounce. I'm going to say it again. Sea salt costs about 8 to 10 cents per ounce. And there's 4.98 teaspoons approximately makes an ounce, okay? But in this recipe, it called for a pinch. So watch this. Technically, we sort of get 16 pinches per teaspoon. Got that? One more time. 4.98 teaspoons, approximately an ounce of salt. Okay? 16 pinches should make a teaspoon. So we'll get closer to how to solve this, okay? So watch this. Let's solve for this salt. Okay. If I'm going to go with the higher end, I'm going to say it's 10 cents per ounce. Got it? So I'm going to take the 0.10. I'm going to divide it by the 4.98. And it tells me what each teaspoon costs. Got it? And if you take that small number and divide it by 16, because we said you get 16 pinches to the teaspoon, right? It'll tell you what that pinch costs, right? And a lot of times it's a fraction of a penny, but I still have to cost it out. Now listen, this is a small recipe. Suppose I had to make pasta for 400 people. Just imagine that. So then we'd be talking about probably cups of salt, right? Right. Or something down the lines of that, which would be a way easier measure. But even in its minute amount, you still got to cost this stuff out, guys. But anyway, I think you get the general gist. So let's cost out our recipe. You ready? So it cost for this one, the egg pasta, called for 1 pound of bread flour. Earlier, we determined that the pound, right, We took the 1750 divided by the 50, which told us each pound costs 35 cents a pound, right? What just so happens 16 ounces is the pound. So I don't have to break that down to ounces. So I know that for this recipe, the flour cost me 35 cents. Got it? So write that down, your 35. Let me write it down too, so I'll be accurate. So I got 35 cents in that, okay? So my eggs, it's going to call for 5 eggs, right? The eggs are 20 cents a piece. We determined that the two, right, $1.44 divided by 12 came out to 20 cents each. 5 times 20 is $1, right? So $1 for eggs. Oil came out to, right, the 4.79 divided by the 16 ounces equals 0.2993, which is like 29 cents, right? I'm going to go ahead and round that up to the 30 cents an ounce is what we got. But remember, it called for a half ounce. So that now means that was 15 cents worth of oil. Got it? Now, finally, this salt. Oh, boy. So, just to be nice, I'm going to say that just to be nice, I'm going to say the salt cost a penny. Too much, right? But anyway, now, watch this. Let's add this up. So I have the 35 cents for the flour. I have the $1 for the eggs, right? The 15 cents for the oil and the penny for the salt. So 35, that'd be 51, okay? It looks like $1.51 to make this recipe. Now, the funniest thing is when you made it in school, you have this recipe, if you guys can remember correctly. So what I actually have in it, probably cost-wise, is $1.51. Okay? Now, with any recipe, this is what you have to do. And this is really what the book was talking about when you were talking about cost control or food cost. Well, unless I know what I have in something, I have no idea in what amount to sell it for, right? I just can't grab something out the air. Okay? So, now, watch this. I said this pasta cost me $1 to make the pasta alone. I'm not talking about the sauce or anything else that goes in it. Just the pasta itself, right? I got $1.51 in it. What do I sell that for? Well, definitely $1.51. Okay? So, what happens is this. In our industry, a workable food cost percentage is like 35, anywhere from 30 to 35% food cost, okay? And I'm going to hit on that tomorrow. But watch this. When I know what I have in something, I'm going to divide that by my ideal food cost percentage. And it would give me the selling price, okay? So watch this. Take that $1.51. Let's divide it by 0.35, okay? So I say I want to rock at a 35% food cost percentage. That means when I take that $1.51 and divide it by 0.35, it's going to tell me what I have to sell that pasta for to be profitable in this business. Okay? And if you have any questions how to work this formula, right, in costing, call me. Okay, you have my number on your syllabus, okay? Call me so I can walk you through this. Because really, this is the whole principle in knowing what my costs are in terms of food, okay? Or what I'm paying for it. And like we said, like I told you yesterday, everything, why you have to know your measurements, because we sell stuff by the each, by the ounce, by the gram, by the milligram, by the kilo, or by the pound. So I have to know those equivalents, right? Just like when I said, okay, there's 16 ounces in a pound. Remember the flour came to 35 cents a pound, right? But what, suppose I needed just 8 ounces, right? Well, I have to know that, well, oh, that's a half pound because there's 16 ounces in a pound. Okay? You guys have to commit those measurements. If you're going to be in this business, you've got to commit those measurements to memory, right? And I talked a little bit yesterday about bridging. So recognize this, okay? Not just talked about American measure on yesterday, but know that there's a metric as well. And we see metric out here. Well, okay, watch this. A lot of times when they buy a bottle of wine, it's going to come as a fifth or 750 milliliters. Oh yeah, I have 2 more measurements I didn't give you. Okay, listen, there's 1,000 grams to a kilo or to a kilogram, okay? And there's 1,000 milliliters to a liter. So when I talk about liter, I'm talking about liquid, all right? So hey, what's the difference between American and metric? Okay, watch this. A quart is 32 ounces, fluid ounces, okay? A liter is 33.8 fluid ounces. So it really sounds like to me that a liter is just 1.8 fluid ounce more than a quart, all right? And also, even in a kilo, knowing what that is, a kilo is going to be 2.21 pounds or 35.36 ounces. Yep. All of this, I just happen to know because I'm in this business. In order to count my money, I've got to know these things, right? So remember, like I said yesterday, when you get a portion, when you go out to eat, someone has given you a certain ounce size portion, okay? And they know what they have in every ounce, and they know what they're going to sell every ounce for, right? So it's how you're really able to make up what your real cost to operate in terms of food. And as you're seeing in these chapters, this is the essence of how businesses are put together. Okay, at least food business or hospitality businesses. Okay, I know all of us said, "Hey, we want to sell some food, and I'm gonna sell a hamburger. I'm gonna sell it for $5." I don't know if that's correct. It really depends on what I have in it, right? So even with a hamburger, you have the bun, you have the hamburger. Does it have any condiments? Is there ketchup? Is there mayo? Is there mustard? Is there lettuce? Is there tomato? Is there bacon? Is there cheese? All of those things, even on minute or small amounts, even we're talking about ketchup or condiments, there's a cost associated with it, and we must calculate it out if we're selling it. Okay? Listen, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And again, work these little things I gave you, okay? It's going to be important. So I'm going to give you a quiz on tomorrow, right? And I'm going to actually have you cost out something for your quiz. So you will find this video, I hope, helpful in costing, okay? I know the chapters are really taking you fast through, but these principles, I've got to make sure that you clearly understand them, because those of you that said that you wanted your own business, this information will make or break you if you're not able to understand it or execute it, okay? Talk at you guys later.